Alright, I just beat Stalker, Ghost of Chernobyl for the first time ever. No spoilers. As in, I didn't watch any videos prior to playing this game. So it's all first-hand experience. I've had a bit to drink, but, this isn't, I'm not saying this is a drunk review, but, wait, I made notes for this. So, I wanted to give a quick thoughts on the game. Because I was very excited for this trilogy, and now that I've completed the first of the trilogy, and we'll be moving on to the next one, thank God. This is a mixed bag, honestly. As the credits roll. What do I have here in my notes? I didn't write too many notes. So yeah, the AI is fighting with each other, and the AI complexity in this game is still something you don't see too much in video games. Especially open world games. Bethesda's like in-house fighting doesn't really happen too much outside of like specific areas. But the AIs, fight with each other. They fight with you. That sounds weird. But like there was a point where like the AI was fighting with me, or not fighting with me. I was in the middle between a like giant war, and I was just like, "Don't mind me. I'm gonna steal from this armory." I think it was the free men versus the duties, and that was really cool. There's a lot of like AI that like the mutants will attack the bandits and stuff like that, and the friendlies, the neutral NPCs, and you can just like be like, oh no, I'm helping you," and you can kill them. And I'm pretty sure I've seen floating mutants. This game is such a mixed bag, man. I'm just gonna fuck these notes, man. But I saw a few floating mutants in my time in the zone. There were quest objectives that wouldn't cross off the list. I think they plan on adding mod support to this Xbox version, which honestly, if they added some sort of mod support, I'd say fucking 100% go for it. But my general opinion on this game is, unless you are really looking for that atmospheric, hardcore, like enemies can shoot you, your guns are gonna jam, your guns are gonna break down, experience, don't buy this game. The trilogy, however, I will do a full grade on when I finish it. But this game specifically, it's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of hard points where the enemies will seemingly just be so well equipped that you might go in with the wrong gear, and you might have to just reload a save or just backtrack entirely just to get better gear from a stash box. And that being said, segue into, here are some top tips for this game. Yes, it's a review and a tips. If you want to play this game, first of all, realize that headshots are king. The starting guns you have with no scopes on it are vastly inferior to the guns with scopes, just due to the fact that aiming the iron sights in this game, the iron sights on almost all the guns except the SMG, I forget what it's called. There's an early Viper. It's a Viper. The iron sights on the Viper really good. The AK-47U and the AK-47 2. Like a lot of the iron sights are bad on this game, but you can equip. I think on the 2, maybe not the U, which is like a SMG version of the AK-47. You have a scope, so you can find scope attachments. You can find grenade launcher attachments for the AK-47. I don't know where the second one is gonna go as far as like improvements to this game, but like until you start getting a weapon with a scope on it, like this game is kind of rough because it's a little hard to aim iron sights. The auto aim, the aim assist, turn that shit off and adjust it from there. Scoped and unscoped. I think you get scoped and unscoped reticle movement. No, wait, maybe you don't even get that. But you're just gonna have to play around. The aiming is a little, could use a little more options. The auto aim feature, the aim assist feature is more of a lock-on with terrible tracking. So turn that shit off. I kid you not, my first playthrough on this game was terrible because an enemy would cross in front or behind, yards behind, like meters behind of where I was aiming, and would just rip my aim away. You want to talk about aimbot, but bad. That's the aim assist on this game. Turn that shit off, unless they patch it or make it better. So aiming in this game can be a bit rough, but that's another reason why I say like wait for a scope. This game was a lot of waiting to like hiding behind a piece of cover. And getting shot through pieces of cover. The enemies will shoot you. If there's a gap in your cover, they will shoot you through that gap. Almost guaranteed, and probably, honestly, depending on what difficulty you're playing on. I did try playing it on the second to hardest difficulty when I first started off, and it was like, nah, this ain't for me. And I wasted a lot of materials and medkits and stuff like that. One thing I didn't notice in the whole, like, tutorial thing, I don't know if it's because I didn't read what the dude in the beginning was telling me, but right on your D-pad will make you use the medkit, and left on your D-pad will make you use a bandage. And I don't think it was mentioned anywhere, and I don't think you can even pull up a list of controls for that. There was no like HUD option that I could see that told me to do that, but I pressed the D-pad for once in my life because I was just like, oh, what do these do? And I was like, wait, I just consumed like 2 medkits, and then I had to reload. And I was like, oh, I don't have to go in my inventory, because before that I was going in my inventory, like literally pulling. I died so many times pulling up my inventory, trying to heal myself, thinking it was some DayZ thing. Which honestly, if you like DayZ, this game might be for you. Metro Exodus players, Metro fans of the Metro series, this game is like up there. Now Metro's aiming and gunplay is a little bit more, I'll say loosey goosey. It's a little more solid than this, but like basically any enemy you meet in this game, depending on what weapon you're using, dies in a few headshots. You gotta get really good at aiming for the head or just aiming at people when they're not moving. Which isn't that hard either, but sometimes enemies will just... There's a few times where I got stuck because I tried throwing some nades at a group of enemies, just so I wouldn't have to shoot them, because nades are really useful in this game. They weigh a lot though. You have at all points have 50 pounds of equipment, and there's no way to change that. You go over 50 and running starts becoming hard. If you don't have a bunch of endurance upgrades via artifacts. I like the artifact system in this game. I can't wait to see what they do with it in the next game, to be honest. But basically endurance made it so you could run a lot, you could move a lot, but if you're over encumbered past 50 weight, up to 59.99, you will not be able to sprint as far. Depending on how far you're over that limit, and at 60 you won't be able to move. And that sucks. There's so much ammo weighs weight, and that's the type of game you're getting into. It's like Fallout, but if the ammo weighed a lot more. I went into this final like whole gambit section of this game, and I was just like, oh, I need hundreds of this ammo, and I kind of did. But I also kind of didn't. I kind of completed the game with like additional like 400 ammo and then extra like upgraded ammo for the gun I had. And I used a gun not throughout the whole playthrough, but basically throughout the whole playthrough. No, we're back to the credits. We're back to the main menu, I should say. So yeah, I guess I got like so many rare achievements for being in the game too, honestly. So I guess people have really not gone through this version of the game, maybe they gave up, honestly. I wouldn't blame them. Let's think if any other tips can come to my mind. Selling the shitty pistols and stuff in the beginning isn't really worth your time, but keep those blue stash boxes you find in the beginning, any of the blue stash boxes. Just, you know, dump off any weapons in there. If you need money, you can always do gun runs. Basically equip all but some basic armor, and then you just kind of go from there. But honestly, I didn't really find much use for money. You make sure you're talking to everyone. Talk to everyone and ask them, you know, anything interesting in the area. I just spam that on people, and you get stash locations that will give you good shit. And there isn't much to say about that. Honestly, this game is like a solid 7 out of 10. Great atmosphere, hardcore gameplay, but really buggy. And I really have to take a piss. Oh god. What are you fuckers still doing here? Click off the video. Jesus. But if you made it this far, if you made it through that dramatic pause, that's what we're gonna call it. It's a dramatic pause. It wasn't me taking a piss and then talking to my roommate who went out to let her dog outside. And us having a nice little conversation. No. It wasn't any of that. Anyways, yeah. Keep it casual around here. If you like casual videos, subscribe, like. I'm me. You're you. I'm just here doing what I do. And with that, this review is over. Yes, very casual review. Doesn't really tell you much. If you want to ask questions, ask them in the comment section. I will be sober then, and I will answer them. I'm not that drunk. Possibly. 2 tall boys of Budweiser with lime juice and a half. And my mixed drinks. I don't know how much I put of the rum in there. But hey. That's just a drunk review. I'm done with this shit.